Micah Shrewsberry of the Penn State Nittany Lions joins the Marching to Madness College Basketball Zoomcast podcast today. Penn State took down Northwestern last night as Seth Lundy hit a fadeaway jumper with 35 seconds left to put the Nittany Lions ahead for good, Coach, and you win it 74-70 up in Evanston, Illinois.
That was as gritty and as tough of a win as you can get. And, the Big Ten's a grind. Every game is tough. And winning on the road's really tough. And our guys fought. They fought. We were down a lot, almost the whole second half. And for them to stay together, fight together, put together some stops, and then make timely shots, that's a great feeling.
Coach, you just mentioned it. You guys trailed by 10 midway through the second half, and then you had 5 different players score like a 12-2 run to tie the game at 57. Sam Sessions hitting the jumper there with 5:38 to go. Talk about the resiliency and the connectivity your team had to get a win. Any road win, you know better even than I do, is a monumental effort in a league like the Big Ten.
No, it is. I think that's one of the strengths of our team is our versatility and having a bunch of different guys that can score at different times and in different ways. And, we kind of use that versatility. I know John really carried us early around the basket, scoring the ball. Greg Lee stepped up and hit a timely jump shot. Seth's jump shots. Sam Sessum's getting a drive to the rim and making a tough shot over Robbie Barron. And then Jalen Pickett all night from all over the court. So, there's a bunch of guys that are contributing, and that's what we need. We need a total team effort. That's how we want to play. We want to share the ball. We want to work for the best shot for Penn State. And I think our guys are trying to do that.
Seth Lundy, he leads you in scoring going into last night and at 14.1 points, 6.5 rebounds. He's 6'6". He's listed as a power forward. How does he use his size to that advantage when most would say he's undersized to be at a 4?
Yeah, we kind of try and use his versatility and what he does. Like, he moves around and guards a bunch of different people, right? We're kind of untraditional in how we play and untraditional in how we match up. But you got to flip a matchup in the other way. And if somebody's bigger than you, you got to win the matchup on the other end of the court. And sometimes he's got bigger guys guarding him, and he can take advantage of that. He can stretch the floor from 3. He can drive to the rim. He's doing a pretty good job of offensive rebound for us lately in the last few games as well. So just trying to win his matchup, no matter who it's against, and in any way possible.
Talk about, I guess, how comfortable it is to have a player like Sam Sessions there on the point.
Yeah, just, we have an old veteran team, that we're new to each other. We got a bunch of guys that I've never coached. We got a bunch of guys that haven't played together.
Yeah.
We have old guards that handle the basketball. And, Sam made some plays late for us, offensively and defensively, but having those older guys, you can kind of put them in the position where you put them into. You can do new things throughout the game, and they don't get frustrated by that. They can just roll with the punches. And we changed some things up defensively. We tried to find some weak links offensively, and those guys do a great job of attacking it.
Jalen Pickett, he's what we're talking about here. He can play any of 3 guard positions. The 36.2 minutes per game pops out at me when I look at his stat line, and he gets 12.2 points. Talk about how he's a matchup problem on both ends of the floor for whomever you're playing.
He's done a great job defensively all season. How he's guarded people. What he's done. He's guarded shooters. He's guarded point guards. He's guarded bigger players. And he helps us kind of match up and move around in different ways. I think offensively, he's starting to hit his stride. It took him a while at the start of the season. It took me a while to figure out the best way to utilize him. And I think once we started doing that, I think, starting with the Ohio State game there in early December, he's really been on the tear offensively. And he's played great. We need him. He makes timely shots. He finds guys for open shots when the defense collapses. And, he's a smart player. And, what he brings on both ends of the court is really important.
Yeah, he's very versatile. Like we say, he had 15 points in the win over Indiana last weekend, and he went over 500 career assists earlier this season.
No, that's smarts. When we were recruiting him, that was the one thing that stood out. He understands basketball. He's a smart player. He can pass it. He can score it. And he's been a good defender. So he's, probably one of the more unsung transfers this year in the country.
Yeah, you got that win over Indiana. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. They've been playing good basketball. That was an interesting matchup because of the NBA background you have with the Celtics. And of course, Mike Woodson was a head coach in the league.
Yeah, that I have nothing but respect for Coach Woodson.
Great guy.
Being a kid from Indianapolis, and he's an Indianapolis legend. Broad Ripple High School, won a state championship, I believe, at Broad Ripple. What he did at Indiana, and then getting a chance when I got to the NBA to watch his teams play when he was a head coach, with the Knicks, but also even when he was in Atlanta before that, and then as an assistant with the Clippers. So, like, what he does as a coach is fantastic. And I'm blessed. I'm a head coach in the Big Ten, and each night you walk out there and you see the coaches on the other side and how good they are. And whether it's Mike Woodson, it's Chris Collins, Matt Painter, on and on, Tom Izzo, Chris Holtman, like that, who we've played so far is a who's who of college basketball. And, to get a chance to try and match wits with those guys and try and compete with those guys, I'm fortunate and blessed, and, I love my job.
Oh, yeah. Looking at your team, what's maybe one or two things you're stressing with your players to get better in?
For us, a couple of areas, we've really worked on since we've gotten back from Christmas break, our offensive rebounding. And we've done a great job on the defensive glass. We haven't given up, a lot of offensive rebounds to other teams, but we actually haven't been getting a lot either. And that's something, if you look the last two games, we out-rebounded Indiana by 10, and then we were plus 12 last night. And our guys are really fighting on the offensive glass. The effort that we're giving there is giving us extra possessions, easier baskets, and it's helping our offense.
What was maybe the biggest thing you had to stress in laying your culture as you came in as a new coach?
Everything's new. And, for me, I'm a defense first guy. And that's how we're going to play. That's how you have to have success in the Big Ten. If you look at the teams over time through history, from Bob Knight's teams to Gene Katie's to Tom Izzo's teams to Thad Matta, Bo Ryan, like whoever it may be, they're tough, gritty, half-court, man-to-man teams. And to have success in the Big Ten, I think that's what you need to do. That's who you need to be. And we've really stressed that right away. And kind of laying that foundation. It gives you a chance every single night. Like if your defense and your toughness travels, you have a chance to win in this league. So we've started that culture from day one. And that's who we want to be. And then offensively, we don't run a lot of plays. We teach you how to play. And that's something that we try and do and learn the game the right way, play the game the right way. And I give those guys a lot of freedom offensively.
You got to be excited. You've got a huge matchup Saturday evening when you host the Purdue Boilermakers there at State College. you were Matt Painter's associate head coach the last 2 seasons. I'm just curious about your thoughts on seeing your old boss down there. He's been on the show, by the way.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I'd have to look it up. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but Coach Painter's unbelievable. Like, not just boss, friend, and mentor. And a lot of the stuff that we talk about, we're pretty different philosophically, offensively, and defensively, how we play, or systematically, but philosophically, we're similar in terms of what we do. And a lot of the stuff that he says in practice, like, I'm repeating it right now with our team. And it'll be fun to see him on the sideline. He's done a great job of getting former assistants head coaching jobs, but I don't know if anybody's ever played against him. So that's something that, I'll have to look that up, but I don't think he's played against Jack Owens at Miami. I'm not sure about Conzo and Paul back when Paul was at Missouri State, but Greg Gary at Mercer, Steve Lutz was with me on staff. So I may be the first one that, he has to play against. And it's probably not going to be fun for either one of us, but we're both competitors. And when the game ends, win or lose, like, we're going to meet at half court and we're going to talk like normal. And, and I'll tell him, I'll see you in the summer. I'm going to come hang by your pool and we can talk about it later.
That's what Hoopers do. I mean,
that's right.
Hey, last thing, Coach, as we're winding up here, of course, Matt Painter, but I wanted to just ask you, if you would, since you're a first-time guest, to tell me some people who have made it possible for you to grow inside the game and get to where you're the head coach at Penn State.
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches. I've been fortunate to be around really good coaches. And, obviously at the top of the list, people talk about Brad Stevens. People talk about Matt Painter, and they talk about the journey I've had with those guys. But my journey started at small college and working at Division II for Todd Sturgeon at University of Indianapolis, Mac Petty, who's a Division III Hall of Famer at Wabash College, Bill Finland, who's a Division III Hall of Famer, in his last season this year at DePaul University. Like, those are the guys that, I really kind of lean on, that have helped me through my coaching journey. And then my own head coach at Hanover College, Mike Beitzel, who's got a lot of former players and assistant coaches that are head coaches now, throughout high school and college. He really kind of instilled the coaching bug in me. And, I'm forever grateful to him for getting into this profession. And now, I'm trying to make sure that all those guys that I work for, I do right by them by, teaching the game the right way, having my teams play as hard as possible, and winning, and, doing everything right.
Coach Micah Shrewsberry, a great interview, Coach. I enjoyed this. I hope down the road we can get together and do it again. And I wish you the best of luck in the Big Ten this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Had a great time, and look forward to getting back on soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.